All right, let's talk a little bit about Letitia James. Apparently, there's been a criminal referral made by the Trump administration in regards to some sort of mortgage fraud, which, to me, if you look it up, it's clear that there is mortgage fraud. I just don't know how serious that could be. We'll talk about that in just a second. Guys, it's the 22nd of April. It's Tuesday. It's 2025, and it's now almost 6 p.m. here in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for today. And guys, if you like my stuff, you want to help me reach more people, go ahead and like, follow, retweet, retruth, the whole thing, everything. Do it all. Comment all the stuff to give me a little bit more engagement. Let me reach new people and start some cool conversations. That would help me out a lot. The best place to go is to subscribe at my Substack, because there you will get all the content I make, including the articles I write, without having to be worried if something got banned or deleted or censored or anything. Nothing gets censored there. It's all about logic.substack.com. Subscribe for free or for $5 a month and get links in your email inbox every time I publish something. So there you go. That's the best place to go. Help me out with some sharing, retweeting, retruthing, all of those things. All right, so Letitia James, look, I'm definitely one of the people that belong in the camp. I want to see some motherfuckers in handcuffs, all right? And soon. My patience is starting to wear super thin on this shit, I have to say. Look, I think Trump is doing a great job overall. There are a couple of little things that I disagree with. The one thing that I am mega worried about is that we are not going to see the accountability that we need to see in order to have trust in any of these systems, any of these institutions, any of these government entities ever again. Because if Trump doesn't do it, nobody can, right? Nobody will. And that means it's over. That means that we've basically lost, okay? It means that we've lost. It means that the left and the Democrats and these rats in the government, including the rhino Republicans, the people in Congress and all those people, they get away with everything. And they will continue to get away with everything. They don't care about the Constitution. They will continue not to care about the Constitution. If there are no repercussions for their behavior during the last 4 years and more, then that's going to mean they've got a fucking get-out-of-jail-free card. That's going to mean that when they get power again, and they eventually will, they're going to go full scorched earth on all the shit they tried to do under Biden. And so, since we haven't seen anything yet, I am starting to get a little bit jittery on, will we see any accountability at all? You know what I mean? That's what I think is, I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. And maybe I'm just pessimistic. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm too impatient. My buddy K-Mag, that I have that I did a whole podcast with him where we had a debate on this accountability thing. Good long podcast. I'll link it in the description below if you want to watch it. It's a friendly talk, actually a discussion between two friends, but he's on the position that, look, things take time. I'm too impatient. Some people will not get any prosecutions. Others may, but we'll have to see, and I'm like, no, unacceptable, right? So my standpoint is there's a lot of people that probably could already be prosecuted and put in handcuffs. I just don't understand why we don't see it yet. And that's my thing with Letitia James. Look, getting good investigations on people so that they get locked up for a long time, if there's reason to do so, that does take a long time. I get it. Pam Bondi's not been there very long. Kash Patel's not been there very long. But we did hear from all of these people. Trump, we heard from Kash Patel, we're coming, watch out, prosecutions are coming, we're going to get them, blah, blah, blah. We heard all that shit. You know what I mean? But no one has yet to be charged, prosecuted, even arrested, detained, questioned, nothing. No one's been hauled into Congress. No one, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Congress isn't doing anything. That's my thing. So, look, if there's a criminal referral for mortgage fraud on Letitia James, first of all, I think, why mortgage fraud? Didn't she must have done something illegal, right? During her fake prosecutions of Donald Trump. You would think there's something illegal there, but I'm not a legal expert, so I don't know. So I guess there's not. I guess that was all okay. I guess it was okay for a district attorney, or attorney general to go after a front runner for the presidency with bullshit allegations that are later proven to be bullshit, right? And you weaponize the law against him and anybody that supported him. They arrested Trump's lawyers, if you remember that. Remember, they arrested his lawyers over the 2020 election thing. Not Letitia James necessarily, but the Democrats in them. But nothing's being done about any of that shit. So I guess that if they're going after her for mortgage fraud, there must not be any real, there must not be anything to all the illegal shit she did while trying to prosecute Trump, or that must not be illegal. That must be okay. Now, what's also possible is that they stumbled upon this mortgage fraud thing while they're investigating if she did anything illegal during the persecution of Trump. That could be the case. That's the most positive outcome, is that this mortgage thing is just because they found it and they can do it quick and they can nail her with it. They can do it quick, but they are investigating her for the persecution of the front runner for the presidency. And maybe they're busy doing that. That might take a lot of time. I get it. Maybe the mortgage fraud thing is just like, hey, that's an extra bonus, cherry on top. That means we don't have to wait to get her out of her position or put her in handcuffs or something. You know what I mean? But there's a couple of things with this, with the mortgage fraud thing that is a problem. There's a couple of things that are very obvious that she did. One is her primary residence was in Virginia while she was active as in a political job in New York. That's not allowed. You're supposed to be, your primary residence got to be New York if you're serving there. Now, she didn't do that. That's already fact. Okay? So how, if that's illegal, then why is there nothing happening? Because somebody put in a criminal referral, but there haven't been any charges brought yet. Criminal referral was last week. I get it. Pam Bondi's got a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of probably higher priority things than a mortgage fraud case. All fine. You know what I mean? But I'm getting tired of hearing excuses about shit. Oh, the Epstein files. Oh, you're going to get them all, and then we're not going to get any. And we're going to get the people from the Epstein files. Ain't nobody going to jail over those Epstein files. Ain't nobody going. I'm telling you. The FBI has had now whatever Pam Bondi gave them for a couple of weeks all over the country. They've been, maybe a month or two, they've been investigating. That was the idea. I started investigating and getting people indicted. I haven't heard about any indictments, any charges brought, no arrests, no nothing. Does that mean it's not happening and we're just not being told about it until things are rock solid? Possible. It's just weird how that never happens with anybody else, right? Right? I mean, they could announce that Letitia James may be facing some sort of charges because they can announce that she is criminally referred for mortgage fraud. So basically, they put it out to the public, right? They put it out to the public saying, look, here it is. She did this. This is, if you did this, you'd be in jail. This is illegal. We put it into Pam Bondi, right? Now Pam Bondi's pretty much, she's got to do something. So this is going to be the linchpin kind of thing right here, guys, right? For me, this is the linchpin. If they don't or are unable to do anything to Letitia James, if she doesn't even lose her fucking job, nothing happens to her. And right now, that's what it looks like the case is going to be, right? Because again, the criminal referral is there. There is already basically hard evidence that some things about this mortgage fraud and not having her primary residence in New York, those things are already problematic. That's not going to take months to investigate because the proof is apparently already there because the documents on which she committed mortgage fraud, she committed the mortgage fraud. So the documents, the evidence is already in their hands. Now, maybe Pam Bondi just hasn't looked at it yet, but that's not real great, is it? Because this bitch tried to put the fucking president of the United States in jail and tried to steal $500 million from his ass, right? For undervaluing property, which is total bullshit. The banks that were involved said they would make the same deal again with Trump in a heartbeat. There is no victim. There is no crime. And yet still, now this thing is still in appeal, right? And still, they're going to let her walk around. They're going to let her keep this job for longer. I don't understand why shit like this is not a priority. I get it. Deporting people, priority. Solving the war in Ukraine, priority. Helping Israel, I guess, is a priority. Also not something I'm a big fan of, but all right, different topic for a different day. But look, this shouldn't take long, right? So if something doesn't happen within the next week or two, with Letitia James on this mortgage fraud thing. That means that she's allowed to commit mortgage fraud because the rules don't apply to her, apparently. If the rules are that you have to have your primary residence in the state you're serving in if you're working for the federal government in some capacity, like Letitia James is, right? And she didn't do that, and there's proof she didn't do that, then that's not a rule, is it? Then she can do whatever she wants. The rules do not apply to Letitia James, right? So it's going to be like, are they going to fucking do something about any of this shit? You know what I mean? You keep seeing these memes online. Oh, are you ready for prosecutions? Ready for arrests? But this is all, they keep hyping people up with this shit. And I don't think anything's going to happen because nothing ever has before. These people have been able to get away with basically murder, fucking little kids, using the law against regular citizens, every kind of shit under the sun. And they've gotten away with it for decades and decades and decades. We haven't seen any accountability, not for COVID, not for anything, right? So I don't think it's going to happen now, right? And you know why I don't think it's going to happen? Because Letitia James is going to be seen by the left and the media as political retribution, right? So that would be not great. So that's the next excuse, right? That's the next excuse. Well, because everything that Trump does is going to be seen as political retribution. If there's any accountability for anybody, then we're not going to do it, right? That's basically the attitude I think they're taking. I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? I don't like that shit, right? I don't care how it makes the left feel or what it makes the media say, right? Trump doesn't have to be elected again. This is the chance to fix this shit once and for all. But if these people don't feel any consequences for anything they did at all, right, then once Trump's gone and the American people get dumb enough to elect Democrats again, watch the fuck out. That's what I'm saying. They're going to go after everything and everyone. That's the end of podcasting on the right wing, you know what I mean? That's the end of freedom of speech, the end of all that shit. It's going to be the comeback of woke transosity. Because you see the Democrats are going in that direction right now. The illegal immigration is going to come back. They're going to open the floodgates again because they're hanging their whole political careers on saving some MS-13 drug dealing fucking maniac, wife beater, right? El Salvadorian wife beater. And they're treating him like some sort of god, like they did with George Floyd, right? He's this saint they've got to get back into America because Trump threw him out. They're putting everything in that basket. So the Democrats and the left have not learned shit. They get power again, America's fucked. I'm telling you. So in a way, it was good that this information leaked out, that the people get to see, okay, Letitia James is corrupt, and she's actually doing shit that she accused Trump of doing. And Trump didn't do it, but she's doing it. And the people now see that. So people are now sitting there tapping their fingers like, yo, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, what the fuck's going on? Why is this bitch still working there? Why haven't they raided her office? Why haven't they detained her? Put her in handcuffs and questioned her. Give her a chance to confess. Because all the paperwork's there and they basically got everything on her already for this mortgage fraud thing. Why let her out, leave her out? Why? Why not do anything? The people are going to be pissed if they don't do anything about this. I'm going to be pissed. If they don't even do this, if nothing happens to Letitia James, then they're not going to go after anybody, guys. That's it. The accountability part of this deal is over. And I have to tell you, that waters down the positive aspects of the Trump presidency by a long mile. Okay? Because right now, it's basically been, okay, the border is closed. Good. Awesome. The wars are still going on. Israel's still bombing the shit out of Gaza. The Ukraine thing is not solved yet. Doge found a bunch of fraud, waste, and abuse, but Congress signed another continuing resolution right in the middle of all this to just makes the money keep flowing. Okay, USAID is shut down, but there's a bunch of court cases about people's jobs and all this shit. The left is trying to get in Trump's way in every aspect. So he is doing a damn good job. But the accountability is one of the linchpins for the American people. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I guarantee nobody out there in MAGA land is saying, you know what? Let's forget about the accountability for all these fucking criminal, fucking corrupt pieces of shit. Let's just let them walk. It's all right. They learned their lesson. Nobody's saying that. No one. No one is saying that. So, I'm telling you, the Letitia James thing is going to be like the linchpin on this. If she doesn't go to jail or lose her job or something, you know what I mean? Something. I get it. People in these positions, they don't get punished like the rest of us. There is a two-tiered justice system. Absolutely is. Right? So her punishment may be a little bit lighter than if you or I did it. Do I think that's fair? No. Absolutely not. It's unacceptable. But right now, we got to kind of take what we can get. You know what I mean? Because in the end, the American people are going to have to demand this shit stops. And they're going to have to do it in the form of voting, protesting, staying involved, keeping their politicians on a short leash, and voting in the candidates that are going to do it. And if Trump fails on the accountability part, that's going to be a big stain on his legacy, 100%. Because if he still somehow believes that he's going to be able to unite these people when maybe the tariffs go well or America gets back on its feet, or the left will not appreciate anything he does. Nothing. They're not going to care. They could come up with a cure to cancer, free all the Uyghur Muslims in China, make America the most prosperous, well-to-do country in the whole fucking world that, is able to do insanely good things for the rest of the planet because of Trump. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So I hope that Trump is not thinking this in his head, like, okay, just wait till they see. Like, that he's not thinking, wait till they see what I do when the tariffs work right and the economy gets a kickback and everybody's doing well, Americans are doing well, we stop the waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, we keep these Congress people back in line and they're doing their job, and then he's thinking, yeah, that'll unite the country. No, it won't. Definitely not the Democrats. Nobody who hates Trump and has Trump derangement syndrome is ever going to give the guy credit for any fucking thing, no matter what it is. Accountability is one of the most important reasons why Trump got elected. Maybe it's the wokeness, the border, and accountability. Those are the three. The economy wasn't even that big of a deal, I don't think. It was those three. And if the accountability part doesn't come, it'll be like he almost didn't do any of those things. Right? So, on the one hand, it's good that we know that Letitia James is corrupt like we thought she was, and that the information is now out there. On the other hand, if they put this out there and now don't follow through with it and do something, that's going to be a major problem. That's going to be a major problem. It's going to be so disappointing that it's going to make me start feeling like, okay, well, if Trump's not going to do it, nobody's going to do it, then that's it. It's a wrap then, in my opinion. Okay? It's a wrap. It's just a matter of time before tyranny basically takes over in America, and that will follow in all of the rest of these countries as well, because America's like the beacon of freedom for most countries, right? So, I don't know. We kind of put all our hope on Trump to do something, but if he can't do it, it's going to be left up to the people. And the ilk and the quality of people we have out there in big enough numbers, oh man, I don't know, man. You see North Korea, there's a lot of them, they ain't doing shit to try to get themselves out of their situation. You know what I mean? I just don't think that revolutionary style people there's enough of them, you know what I mean, to really fight back against what's coming if Trump cannot turn this around for America, right? And like I said, he's doing a pretty good job on other fronts. The accountability part is lacking, I have to say. And I'm not fuck this it takes time shit. Yeah, it takes time. But there's a lot of people that it's not going to take that much time. The evidence is already out there. We already known about it. You know what I mean? You can't tell me that Russiagate was legal. You can't tell me that there's nothing illegal about anything anybody did with Russiagate. That doesn't seem... How are you're going to have to sell me on that big time? You know what I mean? That's crazy. What about the fucking Twitter files? Well, not illegal. They can do it. You know? So it just seems to be more and more like the things that we thought were illegal really are only illegal for us, but not for them. Right? It's really starting to look like that even with Trump. Because again, there's a lot of people out there that probably could immediately be held accountable, that they don't need to do year-long investigations on everything. You know what I mean? Letitia James is a perfect example of that. She committed mortgage fraud. It's what the paperwork shows it. If the paperwork says what they say it says, right? Then how the fuck can that take so long? You know what I mean? They've got the evidence in their hands. So if there's really something there, it should take 5 fucking minutes. We should see her in handcuffs next week. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Comment below. Tell me what you think. You know, I'll try to put the link for the first part of the debate that me and K-Mac had about this down there. It's fun, interesting. So I'll put the link down there. You can watch it. We'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. I don't know. Right now, I doubt it. And the reason why I doubt it is because I think that the Republicans in power, other than the cabinet members, are squishy, weak-kneed people, right? Congress hasn't done a fucking thing yet. They could have codified some of Trump's executive orders. Haven't done a fucking thing yet. All they've done so far is more continuing resolutions, more dog and pony show hearings that have no consequence. No Republican DA or Attorney General has indicted anybody yet. And I think that has to do with they are still the same people they were before Trump got in there. And most of them are just status quo apparatchiks. Right? Most of the people in Congress are status quo apparatchiks. Most of the people in the Senate are status quo apparatchiks. So like that, we're not going to get anywhere. You know? Like that, we're not going to get anywhere. And if Trump is himself backing down on this idea of accountability because it's going to look like he's being vengeful or spiteful, then we're lost. Because if you're going to, they're going to think that anyway. You know what I mean? They're going to think that anyway. So, again, I got to stop talking about it. It's 22 minutes now. Guys, have a great day. We'll see you on tomorrow's Insanity Report. Comment below. Tell me what you think about this. If I'm being too pessimistic or if you think I'm on the right track with this. I'll hear you. All right, see you tomorrow. Peace out.